Today we will learn on how to create a data recording in OptiFact. Defining a data recording in Data Manager is the essential step in collecting valuable data from your assets. Remember, to create a data recording, we need to have the Data Manager admin role. To create a data recording, we can either click on New Recording from the Home tab, or go to the Data Recordings tab and click on New Data Recording. Give your data recording a name. Choose the appropriate asset type, such as Robot for ABB robots. There is a debug mode that can be enabled. Debug mode allows you to store all the messages received from the recording for 8 hours. We will be able to review them in the Logs and Troubleshooting tab. However, this option is strongly recommended only temporarily and for troubleshooting reasons, as it can drastically increase the CPU load of the server where OptiFact is running. Click on Next to continue. Now, let's select the assets that we want to include as data sources. We can choose them either from the factory structure or we can do so from the Tags tab. After selecting the asset, click on Next to continue. Now we have to select one or multiple data packages that we need for this data recording. Make sure that a data package is already created for the asset type before. After selection, click on Next to continue. Now, it's time to select the data destinations, or in other words, where the data will be stored or sent to. We can also select multiple data destinations, according to our use cases. By default, we have 2 different internal destinations. OptiFact Real-Time Sync, which is the internal MQTT broker with the default topics, and the Storage API Runtime as the internal PostgreSQL database. If we have already added new destination assets, we will see them as available options as well. After selection, click on Next to continue. Now, we have an optional configuration called Conditions. These are additional settings that work to restrict the data collection only under specific rules. Let's create an example when the recording will collect data only when 2 given I/O variables of the robot are equal to 1. Click on Add. Here we can select the variable type. Let's browse from Device and select our reference asset. We will select our first variable and then select a method. Let's subscribe to this I/O signal and click on Create. Similarly, let's add another I/O variable and subscribe to it. Since we have the 2 variables that we need, let's create the start condition and then the end condition. From Start Condition, click on Add Conditions. We can add just one condition or a group of conditions. Since we need a group, let's select the second option, Add Group. We will select the desired logic option and then click on the plus button. We are allowed to add a condition or another group. Select Add Condition. Select the variable, the right operator, and fill in the value, which is 1 in this example. Repeat this operation for the second variable. We have successfully created our start condition, where data would only be collected when both the variables' value changes to 1. Now let's create our end condition, where the data collection would stop when both the variables' value changes to 0. Click on Next to continue. Here are the details of our data recording for our asset type robot. Click on Confirm. Our data recording is now available to be used. Regardless of the conditions previously defined, to start the data collection, we need to activate it by clicking on the respective Start button for the recording. Once the progress bar is complete, our data collection will become active, and the data will be collected according to our defined conditions and the methods defined in the selected data package. To deactivate this data recording, we can click on the respective Stop button. To sum it up, we have seen in the video on how to create a data recording in Data Manager. By following these steps, we can effectively collect valuable data from our assets. Thank you for your time.